Oh yeah, guys, here I am, back to the place that I was born and raised. We're overlooking beautiful Waikiki on the island of Oahu as we're preparing for a strong 2020. I hope you are having a great holidays, but not even the holidays is gonna stop the news, guys. So if you are ready for the special holiday edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update, I think you know what to do, guys. Yeah, let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here, and welcome to the holiday edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. As usual, I am joined by my brother, Khasino. What is up, man? How are you doing? How has your holidays been so far?
Been pretty good, can't complain, but quick disclaimer, I've not gotten a lot of sleep, so some of my comments might be all over the place for this episode, but it's the holidays, so let's roll with it.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with this one, and I apologize if I'm not up to my normal, I don't know, quick thinking self, if I ever was quick thinking, but yeah, a little off because I've been in holiday mode for about a week now, so getting back into Marvel Strike Force, talking about it, it is nice, and it is always nice chatting with you. Before we get into this, I do want to mention Lootcakes. There is a link for Lootcakes down below, and this is a way that you could get rewarded for some of your purchases in Marvel Strike Force. There is a link, like I said, down below. It's an affiliate link. It supports the channel, and if you want more information on it, check out that link. It is a pretty cool program that they have going there. How have you? How is your playing with Marvel Strike Force been during these holidays? Has it been the same? Has it dropped off, or has it increased?
No, it's definitely been a bit lessened, and I get hit by the double whammy. My girlfriend's birthday was yesterday. I think the days are kind of bleeding together at this point, but so yeah, I got hit with having to worry about the girlfriend's birthday. Of course, all the holiday times. I'm trying to put out at least one new YouTube video every day for 12 days of YouTube, so. Yeah, I'm doing my best, but I basically told my alliance, like, anyone is allowed to screw up until January 2nd. January 2nd is when we come back with our serious faces on, but until January 2nd, you're allowed to have been busy having a life.
Nice. Having a life is cool, and it sounds like you've been living it up as well.
A little bit.
But let's talk about Strike Force, because there's been a few things going on during the holidays. Not as much as a normal week, because it appears that a lot of staff at Fox Next has been off as well. Not a lot of news dropping from them. But I guess the big thing that has happened this week. Oh, we're definitely going to talk about the big thing with Black Bolt, but. The big thing over the past week has been these Orb Avalanche Milestones. Very, very good rewards. We talked about them a little bit as they were announced right before we started recording, and I think people kind of got into the mindset that they need to be hoarding orbs. I've been doing that kind of anyway, just I haven't really had the need to open a lot of certain orbs. What are your thoughts on these Orb Avalanche Milestones now that's ended and seeing a lot of people's reaction towards it on Reddit?
I mean, again, it was definitely a huge success. I assume that part of the goal was to get people to open orbs, and so definitely many orbs that had been hoarded were opened. It's a great way to reward people that had saved up their orbs, but what I liked about it was, like, I had hoarded absolutely no orbs. I think I had like 8 normal Red Star orbs going into this, and that was literally it, and I could have been saving Ultimus orbs, I could have been saving premium orbs, but I just open stuff when I get it these days. Unless, like for example, I'm saving Elite Red Star or Black Bolt. But anyway, so I didn't have anything hoarded, and I got most of the way through the milestones. Like, I got all the way up to Captain Marvel just before the 5 Red Star Namor, and I would have pushed for the 5 Red Star Namor if I didn't already have a 5 Red Star Namor. So, yeah, like, the fact that I was able to get 80% of it done without hoarding anything is not bad, and the fact that anyone who hoarded at all was able to clear the whole thing. I mean, the rewards were great, so I think it was a big success.
I liked it. Like I said, I normally hoard anyway, and now I'm back to hoarding, and I was putting my tinfoil hat on. I saw in some of the comments that, oh, this just wants you to open your orbs because something big is happening, and it's probably true, maybe, but I opened my orbs, and I liked it. I liked the milestones for the rewards and a lot of the stuff. I thought it was a nice gesture for the community, especially some of those orange uniques and those red stars that they gave out. I thought it was a good success as well.
Yeah, and all the gold that came with the snowball orbs was great.
Oh, yes, very good. 60,000 each orb, and there was a bunch of them in that thing, so... But there's been a surplus of gold in my inventory for a little bit, so that's always nice. And more positive thing for the holidays for Fox next, and we will get the Black Bolt. I know people are wanting to hear about that, but they did do some positive. They gave a lot of energy. They gave us some promotion credits for for red stars. I thought this was a nice gesture from Fox Next as well. I think it's a little more than they did last year during the holidays. I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember what they gave last year?
I'm sure they had a calendar, and I know they had snowball orbs, but they sucked. They barely gave any gold, and they gave like 3 or 5 shards of some random character, and there were like a handful of good ones in there, but it was mostly fluff characters, so it definitely wasn't like this year felt like a celebration. Last year it was like, all right, they gave us a little bit of stuff, but they were definitely way more generous this year. And what I'm surprised by is, like, for example, those countdown orbs are pretty good too. Countdown orbs had like a lot of Elite 4. I think you could also get Elite 5 credits from it, but I bought one Elite 5 offer. I don't think I bought any offers whatsoever that gave any Elite 4 credits, and from the start of Orb Avalanche to now, I have 7 Elite 4s. I don't even know how I got them.
I have a few as well that I've been saving. I've been saving for the Black Bolt, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because we have a featured red star going on right now. But yeah, I thought they did really good. They gave a ton of energy. They gave a ton of special event energy for that Heimdall event, and I was very happy with it. I guess we got a lot of positives to talk about. These one-day blitzes. I was very happy with it. The gold blitz, and then we got the gear blitz and another premium orb blitz. How far did you push on these? How did you do on these? And were you happy with this, or would you prefer like a normal character like they normally do for these blitzes?
No, I was very happy with it. I just did the milestones because the rewards for pushing much past the milestones didn't make sense, and they did it perfectly where it landed on like the Christmas days. So
yes,
yeah, I thought it was perfect. It was like you can blitz for just a little bit during the holidays and get 90% of the rewards, 90% of what you would get if you went all out on them. And so yeah, it was perfect. So no one, they intentionally structured it in a way where no one had to really go hard on them, and the milestones were quick and easy to hit and very rewarding.
I agree. Very, very positive things to say about these one-day blitzes. I hope they throw these in randomly more often, And let me ask you this. I saw a few comments about having these in addition to the normal blitz. So you could choose whether to go hard for the character or to go hard for the gold. What do you feel about this? Do you think this is something that Fox Next should implement? Do you think this is I don't know. Am I being crazy here to have wanting couple blitzes going on at the same time that people could choose?
Well, I've been arguing for that, not necessarily with the one-day blitzes, which I wouldn't have an issue with, but I've been arguing for having simultaneous blitzes and letting people choose the whole time. I was saying, they could, when they release a brand new character, that's going to be hyper competitive, they could release like a strong older character, like a 6-month or a year-old character that's very, very good that most newer players don't have maxed, and that way the newer players could say, well, rather than try to compete with the whole player base for a brand new character, I'll be able to compete just against people who don't want to stress and go for that and want to go for this character instead, and just have 2 reward pools. So yeah, I've been advocating having multiple blitzes. That was the main feedback I gave them when they were looking at things to do for blitz. I was saying just run a couple of them at least and let players choose, and that'll help out.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some crazy people that will go for all of it and be like, I have no time anymore, but I think I would be satisfied with going hard for one and maybe just hitting the milestones for the other, especially if it's a character, like an older character that I already have. So yeah, I'm in favor of that suggestion, and I hope they are listening and would implement that. At least maybe a test and see how it does. I think that thing would be cool to have some concurrent blitzes going on. But speaking of blitzes, We got a big blitz going on leading up to our discussion on Black Bolt. We had Sif come back round 2. The scores are pretty high. Obviously less than the first round of the Sif blitzes. What are your reaction to the scores of this Sif blitz? Do you think is appropriate for a character on such a valuable team as she is?
Yeah, I mean, individually, like just as a solo tank, Sif is good, but not insane. But on the full Asgardian team, and therefore with all of that block chance and block amount, and then backed by all of that passive healing plus the healing from Greg, yeah, she's fantastic and needed for Black Bolt. Makes her obviously very in demand. So yeah, there's just a lot to it. But I was very surprised actually that the scores were so high. I got to double check, but I think it was like 13.9 mil on her second blitz or something for top 2000. It was something insane.
I'm not sure. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but that seems like one of the higher second blitzes ever.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I'll double check right now because I can pull it up in 2 seconds. I'm curious. Now you've got me wondering. I think I remember seeing that her. I'm just pulling it up. I think I remember seeing her second blitz scored higher than her first. Let's see. The rank 1 was the same. The rank 15 cutoff was barely lower. The rank 100 cutoff was barely lower. Okay, so it was barely lower across the board. Actually, top 1 at 2% was almost 700k higher. But everything else was just barely lower. And then the 11 to 25% was just way higher. But yeah, the rank 2000 cutoff was 13.9, and prior to that, her first blitz was 14.1. And that's the highest we've ever seen for rank 2000. The closest it came to that previously was Mr. Sinister's first pass was 13.3. And then hers was just 14.1 and 13.9. So her first one was higher, but just barely.
It's interesting. During the holidays as well. So this is kind of stuff. But like you said, it's a double use character because very, very good character in that full Asgardian team, plus needed for that unlock, and I know a lot of people wanted to try to really push for that Black Bolt unlock. But before we get to them, I know we keep talking about it because I think that's the major news item of the week. Let's talk about this featured red stars of these Asgardians. Right now, I think we have featured red stars for Loki, Thor, and Hela. Is this something worth opening your red stars for right now, or would you recommend most people just saving and holding off for Black Bolt and furthering building that Inhuman team?
I mean, it's a yes and no, so it's a little bit roster dependent, right? The first thing is, what do the rest of your war defense teams look like? Like if you have really high gold stars and you've put a lot of gear and like Asgardians are your top war defense team, but they're kind of low on red stars, then it makes sense to try to beef them up. Whereas if even with the red stars, they're kind of middling on gold stars and they're definitely not going to do what your Marauders can or your Coulson team can, then it's not as important. But in general, as soon as they start adding multiple characters, it just never feels worth it for me. Like if you think about it, they're giving you a 5% chance on those 3 characters, and like 2 of those 3 characters, it's great to have high red stars on. Thor and Hela both benefit tremendously from red stars, and Loki doesn't not benefit from red stars. He doesn't need them as badly. But the 5%, like if you do that math, that means that statistically, if you open 20 red star orbs, one of them is likely to be a random one of those characters. I think actually, if you math it out, if they're 5% each, then 3 of them should statistically each be one of those characters. But you know what I mean? Like a 1 in 20, like let's say you're like, all right, Hela's the one I really want. A 1 in 20 chance to get Hela, and then that's just getting Hela, but it could be a 1, it could be a 2, it could be a 3, maybe you're trying for a 4 or a 5. It's just, it doesn't feel like good odds. Like at least the 10% assigned to just a single character feels like, all right, like if I'm going to open 30 orbs, I got 3 chances to hit this character, maybe one of them will be a decent number. Like that feels okay, but just 5%. I don't think we have enough red star orbs for that 5% to make a significant difference, but again, if just a couple red stars on one of those characters would really turn the power of that team way up for you, then might be worth going for, but I'm gonna hold for Black Bolt.
All right, well, I gotta give you a big thank you because I know you're not a lot of sleep, but even that is more than what my holiday mode brain is going through right now. That math makes a lot of sense. I was thinking maybe I should open a few because I don't have a lot of good red stars on Thor. I want more for Hela, but yeah, when you put the math in perspective like that, I was like, yeah, I think I'll just wait for Black Bolt. So thank you for sharing the math with me because yeah, it doesn't make sense when you put it that way to just push too much for these guys because yeah, if I really want Thor red stars, it may happen, it may not. So
not only
I think
that,
I'm just gonna wait.
Not only that, so if you look, it's like the 1 through 4 drops are what's increased, and Elite 4 drop chance is increased. That's it. So not only that, but like when like by the point that your roster is at, you are probably getting a decent income of like Elite 4 credits and promotion credits and stuff. So if you wanted to just wait and get Thor to 4 or get Hela to 4 if you don't already have them at 4 red star, it's fairly affordable for you to use your promotion credits for that. So
yeah,
you know, you don't even have increased odds of getting them to 5 or 6 or 7, which is what would be a big deal anyway. So it really doesn't make sense to me. Like if there was like, oh, you know, you have an increased chance of a 5, a 6, or a 7, like maybe because you know, a 5, 6, 7 red star Thor or Hela could be a game changer. But yeah, you don't even get that.
All right, so I'm I'm glad you're paying attention to these things because it makes even less sense for me to open these red stars right now. So yeah, all of them going for Black Bolt for me, brother. One more thing before we get to Black Bolt, we have a Graviton Blitz going on right now. Pretty essential character for that AIM team, in my opinion. How hard should players be really wanting to get this character if they haven't unlocked Graviton yet, or if they're really trying to build up that AIM team? What is your gauge on Graviton for everybody that is not super familiar with this character?
So I've got like 2 or 3 separate reasons why Graviton is way worth going after. So let's start from the top. I mean, the first is
let's do it.
First is he's a very strong solo character. He's got great controlling effects. He can slow up a group of people. He has a single target stun. You know, extra damage on debuffs, and his passive is amazing. His passive alone means that he can combo with so many characters and so many teams, because anytime someone drops below 50%, he adds a turn of all debuffs. So you can stun someone, blind a team, hit him with a bunch of bleeds and disrupts, and as soon as you push them over 50%, they can get stunned for another turn, blinded for another turn, you know, just crippled. Like, his passive is insane. So the first reason is he's a strong solo character. The second reason is you can combo him with so many. Like, he's great as a sub on Supernatural. He's great as a sub on Spider-Verse. Like, he's amazing on the Brotherhood, where they literally clump everyone up and he can slow 5 people. Like, he's just the ultimate like debuff combo maker. There's a few of them. There's Venom, there's Graviton, and there's Hela, and I guess Scarlet Witch. But like the 4 of them, depending on the circumstance, all of them are absolutely incredible for doing a debuff combo. So I'd have to look at like how it works out, but theoretically, if you had Vision and Hela to ability block and then spread it to everyone, and then you had Scarlet Witch ult and extend it for another turn to everyone.
Oh,
if you somehow
nasty.
Pushed everyone below 50% with a big AoE, Graviton could make it so that the entire enemy team is ability blocked for 3 turns straight. You know what I mean? Like, he can just get absurd. He can do some crazy things. So he's an awesome character. I like him a lot, and I'm going hard for this Blitz because I don't have him at 7.
I'm going hard for this Blitz because I don't have it at 5. So that was the one reason I haven't really built up my Graviton. Just I haven't had the gold stars on him to really make it worth it. But yeah, I'm going hard on this Blitz. I need gold stars for my Graviton. And guys, if you don't have Graviton or need more gold stars on him, I would recommend going hard on this Blitz as well. I know it's the holidays, but yeah, it's a good character. Awesome character.
Yeah, he's really good. And then the also a bigger reason to go after him is the AIM team is amazing right now. Like, he's a core member of the AIM team. He has amazing synergies with Scientist Supreme and the rest of them. And yeah, that team is just one of the top teams out there right now. Again, they might be like right on the cusp of being a top 5 team, but they're I think they're the ultimate anti-debuff team. Like, if you're gonna be taking a bunch of debuffs, they have the best answer to that, I think. And yeah, he lends a lot to that team. So investing in him just to get his team up there is also way worth it. So yeah, I just really like him as a character.
Plus he's the only non-farmable member of that team.
Yes, I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that after this Blitz, as more people start to get him in a higher stars, I think we might start seeing some Graviton arena teams or some Graviton raid teams possibly.
Oh yeah, I think if a lot of people had him at 7 stars already, he would be in a lot of arena teams, and if they could build him properly. But yeah, I know from my personal experience, it's just the lack of those gold stars that's kept me from heavily investing in him. So.
Yep, and to go on a tangent, to go on a tangent here, one of my pet peeves with Fox Next is I don't know how much they pay attention to the character release schedule. Like it seems to be like, oh, the better a character sells and the more popular they are, the longer they wait to make them farmable. But that really ends up messing with. I feel like my interpretation is that ends up messing with a lot of the plans that the people who design the characters actually make, because they'll design characters around the same time where it's like, this is a really strong team and then this is the answer to that team. But they'll make like the really strong team easy for everyone to get, and then the team that's the answer to that, one or two of the core characters will sell well and then suddenly be really hard to get, and then you're just stuck with like a lot of people having the powerful team and not a lot of people having the answer to it for a while, and it's kind of lame. And then by the time they make the character farmable and easy to obtain, there's already another character that does the same thing but better, or then hard counters them back, things like that. So I think they could benefit from making the characters a little bit more available when they come out.
I would definitely agree. That is one of my big criticisms of the game. I did a top 5 things I want changed. That was one of the character release schedule, just a little more predictable. For me, at least, I know it would let me spend a little more money. So I think it's in Foxnext's best interest. I think it's the player's best interest just to make this thing a little more predictable. But definitely agree with that.
There's absolutely something to be said for panic spending if they don't tell people when an offer is going to be, and then they just put it out there and people worry like, oh, if I don't grab it now, I'll never get it. That motivates some people to purchase, but in my experience, a lot of purchases are done by planning ahead. Like an offer will come out and people will be like, I just paid my electric bill, so guess I'm not getting it this time around. Whereas if you tell people like, oh yeah, in a month there's going to be an offer for this character, like with a legendary event, we see people saying like, I've been saving up, what day do you think the offer is going to be? I made sure I had money available to buy this.
Yeah, for me, I would agree with that. It doesn't make me spend more with this panic farming. It makes me spend less. If I had, and again, this is just me personally, if I knew something more predictable, I would probably spend more money on this game. And I hope you're listening, Fox Next. But you mentioned Black Bolt and the legendary a little bit. Interesting segue. And we talked about a lot of positivity that's been going on these holidays. Then this Black Bolt event dropped, or the date of this, and no real way to farm some of these characters. I know there's some people that spent a lot of money that will not be getting Black Bolt this first iteration of his legendary event. Let me get your general thoughts on this thing, because I think we're about to get a little negative here after all the good things that's been happening this holidays.
Yeah, I'm really unhappy with this actually, and it pains me to say that because, again, like they've done so much good. I think December was really, really good for Fox Next, for the player base. Like, people are as happy as can be, and you know me, like I'm here to say like, let's just all do our best to try to find a way to enjoy the game, because that's what it's here for, is to have fun. And if we're just always trying to find things to complain about, then what are we doing here? But yeah, this I can't ignore. I'm really unhappy with how they've handled Black Bolt. And to clarify, this isn't about me personally. I'm gonna get 6-star Black Bolt, and apparently he's gonna be super, super exclusive, and I'm gonna be in an excellent position of power. But it's not about me. In particular, what I really, really hate about the Black Bolt situation is that this will be the first time ever since the launch of the game that absolutely 0 free-to-play players are going to get this legendary character. Now, that said, it's always been an incredibly small amount of free-to-play players that have gotten the legendary character. Sometimes, a fraction of a percent of them have gotten it, like with Magneto. There were some long shots involved. They were giving away free pyro orbs during these blitzes, and you basically had to get like 180 drop from the free pyro orb as a free-to-play player.
Yeah.
And when I say free-to-play player, I'm also pretty much all the people that I'm referring to are like day one launch free-to-play player. Because I totally understand for the majority of the player base, the legendary not being available to them on the first pass, that's totally normal. But I don't like that a dedicated play all day, every day from the day the game came out free-to-play player has a 0% chance, even with some good luck, to get this legendary character. They've never done this before, and I think that is horse. I don't really have anything nice to say about it other than this is terrible, and I'm not sure they realize what they've done with this. I know they like making their legendaries rare, but I think this one is too rare. I think this is a mistake. And I think if you are a day one launch free-to-play player, especially who's gotten the other legendaries, you're well within your rights to be upset.
Yeah, something about this just didn't feel right to me, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I guess you said it right there, that none of the players that were day one will be getting this character, and I'm trying to think, is that proper? Is that something that I'm complaining about that I shouldn't be complaining about? Am I being too greedy here? But something just doesn't feel right about this, and I was stuck. I'll tell you about my personal situation. I was stuck. I need a few more shards of Hela, and I was like, there's this offer here. Should I spend this $20, get 6 of these orbs for these Asgardians? I might pull all Thor, all Loki, and have it be worth absolutely nothing here. And, I bought it, and luckily I got Hela, so I'll be getting her as well. And even after that, I was like, something just isn't right about this. That is totally dependent on RNG, because I could have bought 6 of, 3 of those offers, 6 each, so 18 orbs, and got nothing that I needed. And it's just something, I don't know. I'm not sure. I still can't really put my finger on it, but it's weird. I guess because of the precedent that they set before with the other legendaries, and it's weird that people that spent money on these Asgardians just specifically for Black Bolt, some of them will not be unlocking Black Bolt unless they got really lucky with some of these pulls.
Yep, I've had those people messaging me, and don't get me wrong, like I do feel bad for those people, of course, like that's unfortunate, but also I don't think is exclusive to this. I am interested to see like how everyone's doing on the shards and stuff, but a character like a new legendary, some people having bought offers and still not getting them, that's happened before. But yeah, I'm not thrilled with the way they've handled this. I think that it should be a little bit more available. There is, just to play devil's advocate here, I would say I guess there's a small upside in that if so few people are getting Black Bolt, then that's better for all the people who've gotten Ultron recently, because it means it's more room for Ultron to breathe and be the king. Not that Ultron will stop being good when Black Bolt comes out, because that's a big mistake I think people are making is assuming that as soon as Black Bolt releases, Ultron sucks. He's still an amazing one-man army. He's still an absolute top-tier pick for literally every game mode. A single hard counter does not mean the character isn't worth using at all. Yeah. But
and let me interrupt you about that, because the AI would have to play it correctly for Ultron to be negated, and the AI doesn't always play that correctly. Now on offense, you could play your Black Bolt correctly, kill that Ultron with Black Bolt.
Let me back up. I mean, you right. Probably should be using Black Bolt on offense anyway. But the bigger thing that's gonna screw Ultron is Black Bolt's passive. Just by standing there, Black Bolt, as soon as Ultron summons, Black Bolt's going to remove the defense up that Ultron would get and then put a disrupt on him, and then the speed up bot and the offense up bot are going to give Ultron no buffs, and then the healer bot is going to give him I believe no buffs and just remove that disrupted. It might give him like a single regen. But Ultron not being able to get
oh my goodness, you're totally right. You're totally right. I forgot about that passive.
Yeah, so
I'm still on holiday mode. Yeah, I was just thinking about the non-resurrect, but yeah,
the other thing
you're right. So.
It gets worse. The other thing about the non-resurrect is as soon as he gets dropped below 25%, Black Bolt is automatically going to kill him.
With his attack, yes.
Yeah, it's passive. So Black Bolt really does just screw Ultron just by standing there. But again, a lot of times you're going to be using Black Bolt for attack, I'd assume, because like Black Bolt himself is not hard to counter. So putting Black Bolt on defense it would be kind of dumb. It's like, okay, so I just won't use Ultron here. I'll just kill Black Bolt like he's any other character. You know, just like Magneto blind him and just, you know, punish him, whatever it is. But so yeah, I'm not that worried about like Black Bolt ruining the meta, and I actually do like there being a fairly reliable counter to Ultron, at least one out there. Again, regardless, ultimately the issue here is Black Bolt is, in my opinion, not available enough on his first pass. And a lot of times I think they announce when the second pass is going to be. So they'll say, like, don't worry, if you're not getting Black Bolt this time, he'll be coming back around in, you know, March or whatever. They just put out a time, and at least it's like, all right, well, I can kind of plan around that. But I don't think they've done that this time either. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's an odd move by them, and they've been oddly quiet about it. And like it seems pretty intentional. Like, people have been asking about Asgardian availability for a while, and they've been very obviously ducking the questions on Reddit, probably because they know people won't like their answer. But it seems weird to me. Why make him so much rarer than other legendaries? It doesn't seem to make that much sense. He's got such a, I mean, he'll be an awesome character regardless, but he's got a pretty cut and dry purpose, and it's a pretty niche thing that he's truly incredible at. So I think it'll be worth having regardless. But yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand their move here.
Let me ask you one last thing. We got, as of us recording this, is a little less than a week before his event is coming. No real offers for some of these characters. You got that orb offer that I talked about that you could get random. There's no specific offer for any one particular character if you're missing maybe Hela or Sif or Heimdall. Do you think they're going to do something to make some of these characters' shards a little more available before this event rolls around? Either, I don't know, a specific offer or some way for free-to-play players to get a few more shards for these characters? Or you think they're just going to say, this is how it's going to be for this character right now?
Well, I'm going to back up and say that normally we wouldn't have seen the individual character offers yet. So we still have 6 days before the event rolls around, and then it'll go on for at least 3 days. I think the first pass it's a week, so I think we've got like 2 weeks roughly of Black Bolt, you know, between now and then for him to come out. And so I'm gonna say that there probably will still be the individual character offers. Like, they usually do one a day, so there'll be like, today's the Thor offer, tomorrow's the Loki offer, the day after that's the Hela offer. So there's still time. So the people freaking out today that there aren't solo character offers, I think it's early to freak out about that. In fact, I think it's super likely. I think we might see some different solo character offers because they've clearly made this legendary more about spending than some of the previous ones. So yeah, I think I'm pretty confident in saying we'll still get solo character offers. So we'll see.
Cool. I hope you're right. Well,
it would defeat the purpose. Like, to not have the solo character offers means like, well, then what have you done here? You made this incredibly, you know, you made it crazy artificial scarcity, and then what? To not alleviate it by allowing people to spend? Like, it seems like that would be the whole point.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they do it like that.
I agree.
Yeah, so, you know, hopefully they do these offers. It does make sense from a business standpoint, like you said. So hopefully they do some of these and people aren't freaking out as much. But again, it's all for people that are willing to spend right now. So we will see what happens. Anything else before we start to wrap up on this special holiday news report for Marvel Strike Force?
I think that's it. Most of the devs seem to be out of the office for stretches of time because it's holiday time. So they just kind of, like, a little over a week ago were like, hey, here's everything that's coming up. We'll see you after the new year. So yeah, we kind of knew everything that was coming, and there wasn't too much that was new. So bit of a shorter one. The one thing we didn't bring up was that their social media team has been hard at work on Facebook making an infographic for Hand Archer.
Sweet. Well, let everybody know where they could find you, my brother.
All right, so I am in the middle of 12 days of YouTube, putting up a new YouTube video every single day, and that's youtube.com/Khasino. And after that, I will go back to streaming every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time over twitch.tv/Khasino. And lastly, anyone is welcome to join discord.gg/Khasino.
Awesome. So check that out, guys. The links are down below. And if you enjoyed this video, I know it's a little different from my normal weekly news videos and any other video that I do. Subscribe to the channel, because once I get back, at least 4 videos per week on this channel. And if you want to check out some of the other stuff I'm doing, ValleyFlyin 76, there's a link down below on that. And once I get back from the holidays, at least 2 videos per week on that channel as well. I get back on the 5th of January, and then everything is back to normal. Enjoy the holidays, guys. Enjoy time with your family. If you want to support the channel, there are some links down below. Lootcakes and a bunch of other stuff there. And I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out.